Time is a very difficult thing to pin down. There's a famous saying of St. Augustine of Hippo, that when he was asked, "What is time?" he said, "I know what it is, but when you ask me, I don't."
Greetings, stranger. It's about time to learn about time. This time, it will be a bit longer episode. In the previous episode, I mentioned briefly some nature of time in Pestilence. We will speak later of alchemy and elements, but the time is categorized as water type. The river of time, which is turning the world wheel. The wheel of fate, with chaos and order, which described in the previous episode, is connected to the world wheel and affects the mortal's realm accordingly to its active side. So time, in general term, is act normally, as in the pre-mortality world. Events are happening linearly, one after another. However, in longer term, the time in Pestilence has a recurring nature which caused by the constellations and the chaos order systems. These are historical eras of the world which dedicated to one side of the order or chaos. The constellations have two aspects to determine. Firstly, it set the stage, the cultural, political environment by the zodiac signs' polarized meaning. Zodiac signs' strongest meaning could get through the miasma cloud to exert their influence. Secondly, the zodiac, which is front of the first sign, inspired the mortals to act in a certain behavior. These three parameters, order or chaos, first and second zodiac, set an age into motion and give the basic frame within the events to unfold, like the main story and scene in the theater. So this is a repetitive system where the 12 constellations first became a primary sign, then after a full precession the pairs met in the opposite in pairs. Parallel to this system, there exists another special aspect of the Pestilence universe. It is tied to time travel in a very unique way. Time travel is possible in Pestilence world via a few ways or methods. The things, objects which made from hard materials and remain very long time in the same location could be used as anchors in time. These anchors can form gateways between two times and create a two-way passage for the bold adventurer. The problem with this type of travel that it is unknown how long or how often these gateways operating. Also, very risky to enter these time portals, because if the conditions are vanish during passing, then the traveler could be lost in time or forced out of time, which means a timeless space. A place is where the unlucky traveler is alone for eternity. For time is the easiest way to imagine as a river which flows in one direction, but it's returning to itself in the endless eternity. Like a ring, a circle river. Let's say the river flows as time goes. The speed is how the reality flows from future, left direction, to past, right direction. If someone lives, then it is traveling in this river like on a boat with the same speed as the river flows. The actions are like rocks dropped into the water, making ripples, circles like effects. These effects interact with other effects and became a complex wave system where the stronger, more impactful events could extinguish smaller or weaker effects. Also, synchronized events could create a huge discrepancies as well. This is called historical pattern. Traveling to the right direction, called future, is easier, like going with the flow direction obviously, than traveling to the past as against the flow. So in this system, an anchor type gateway appear like two separate points in the river tied together with an underwater whirlpool tunnel. In that, the travelers could switch time, but if one of the ending anchor or any other way of the tunnel is damaged or compromised in any time, then it collapses. So we arrived in the special point of view for time. In Pestilence, every time happens all the time. There is a separate present in each moment. For example, if someone travels back in time in a whirlpool, at the destination could change events, but in this system that means the actions, alterations, will happen only as real time happens. So he could kill the antagonist in its youth, then travels back to the future. That won't change the future where he arrives. The reason that the change is in the past will travel through the river of time with the speed as reality flows into past. So to see the actions he made to fulfill, he had to wait somehow in the same moment for enough time till the past altered events catch up in his present. Like each changes and actions create a ripple which travel and alter the one existing timeline, the river pattern. There are other ways to travel in this river with magic which could trigger any rules or laws of reality. In this way, portals could be created, most of the times temporarily ones, to travel one way only. It could be powerful enough to make jump instantly, especially to future. There could be issues when the caster wants to travel to the past. Sometimes the travelers could go back in time with time speed, living day by day before that. Technically, they are awakened to the previous day and living that day normally, and wake up to the day before yesterday, and so on. This way, they struggle back in time, aging accordingly, till they reach the point of the wanted destination. And the moment when the reversion happens, it will become more interesting, because they can meet many times with themselves. That became a new present. That's why they did not meet beforehand with oneself. But from that point, it's pretty chaotic situation. Before last time, consider your time wisely.